Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. In today's video, we are going to make stairs in Blender and we are going to do this without the use of the Archimesh or the Archipack add-on. So let's jump right in. Let's start by creating the room first. Let me delete all of these and also I'll turn the screencast keys on. I'll delete all of them. Now what I'll do is, using the Archimesh add-on, I will add a room over here. To turn on the Archimesh add-on, you can go to the edit, then the preferences. Over here in the add-ons menu, just search for Archimesh and Archipack. You can turn them both on. Now that I have already turned that on, let me use it. In the create menu, I will first give the wall some thickness. I will give a thickness of 0.15 meters. This option over here is the height of the room, which will be roughly around 6 meters because it will be a double ceiling space. So the length of the first wall will be roughly around 6 meters, so I will write 6. Then the number of walls will be 2, but I do not want it in that direction. So for the opposite direction, what I will do is I will write -5. Now I will add the third wall and give it a length of -6. And then finally I will use the close walls option, which will create a room for us. Now using the same add-on, we can also add the floor and the ceiling. You can see we have the floor over here already. Now using the create option, I will also add a ceiling, but for now I will check that. For now I will uncheck that option. We will use that later on. Now that we have created the room, I will hide all of this. First we'll start by creating the basic step. To do that, I will add a cube in the scene and give it some basic dimensions. So basic step will have a riser, which is the height of the step, and a tread where we keep our foot. So tread will have a width and a length. So length is basically the x-axis over here, which will be 1.5 meter. The depth of the step we will keep at roughly around 0.3 meter. Now for the height of the step, we will change it to 0.1 meter. Now in the render, you must have seen that below the steps there are some lighting. Now there are two ways of adding. You can physically add a light using another plane surface, but what I will do is a sort of a trick or an easier method to do it. So for that I will add two loop cuts over here and then scale them along x-axis, roughly somewhere over here. Now I will add two more loop cuts along the other axis and then scale them along this axis and then move them. To move them, I will press G and then press Y. This will move them along the Y axis. Now over here, this surface right over here, let me select this. This will become the lighting when we are setting up the materials. So this will create an effect that there is a lighting beneath the step, and actually it is just the part of the step in 3D. Now that we have this basic step, what I will do is use an array modifier. We could also duplicate the step, but that will not give us appropriate accuracy, and also array modifier is a non-destructive way of modeling. This way we can change the number of steps and also increase the height over here, and also the axis in which we are moving. For now we will be moving it in Y axis. Also we will have some height, so we will change the Z to 1, but along the x-axis we won't be moving, so I will make that 0. Now I will go into the right side view, and over here I will increase the height over here using this. I will keep it roughly at 1.5. Let me write 1.5 itself, and then the Y to 0.8. Now we can use the count option to give the number of steps in a scene, so that will be 9. This way we have gotten a basic step. The best advantage of using an array modifier is whatever change I do to the basic step will get changed in every step over here until I apply it. Now in the scene you can see there is some space between the steps which will be covered by a basic support, and for that basic support I will basically just draw a cube over here and then I'll scale it down. I'll go into the wireframe mode. I'll place them over here. Let me go to the side view for a better understanding of it. I will scale it along Z axis to reduce the height. Let me move it along the Z axis to see whatever fits over here. Then I'll go into the edit mode using the tab option, and then I'll select the vertex edit mode. Over here, what I will do is I will select the top vertices. This function right over here you are seeing as a snap function. So whenever we turn this on, the vertex we have selected can be snapped to any other vertex in the scene. I will turn this on, change it to vertex, and then over here I will press G and then Z. Now when I bring my cursor over here, you can see it automatically snaps. Similarly, I will do it for Y axis, and over here also I will do it in the same way. Now I will turn this off because I want to give it some depth over here. This will look fine. So this will become our basic. Oh, let me also change it along this axis. So as you can see over here, you have to see in every axis that it is happening in the correct way. So I will move it along X axis and snap it to this. Let me turn that on once. I'll snap it to this vertex, and then over here I will just give it a random width. So this is the basic support of a step. What I can do is I can increase the width of it as it is looking too fragile right now. Yes, this should work with a scene. Now as the support won't be only on one side, it will be on both the sides. What I will do is I will use a mirror modifier for this and duplicate it on the other side. The mirror object would be the step for us. So this way the support is using the step as a mirroring axis. Now what I will do is I will also add an array modifier over here. Then go into the side view, and then again I will give the factor x as 0, z as 1 for now, and then y as 1. Now we will change it accordingly. You can hold the shift button to change it more accurately. Then I'll give it some factor along z. Yeah, this looks fine. Now same we will do with this. We will give it a count of 9. In fact, what we are missing over here is that the basic step, the first step, will also be risen from the floor. So I will move it over here. Yeah. And then give it a count of 10. Because over here there will be a landing, mid landing of the steps. For now this looks fine. What I will do is I will save it over here, tutorial. Now similarly what I can do is I will create a landing over here using a separate function. We won't be using the same array thing because the landing has different dimensions, and applying the array modifier will be too soon in this case. So again I will go to the dimension settings. Over here I will change the depth to 1 meter, the height to 0.1 meter, and the x will remain as 2.2 meters, sorry 3.2 meters. So 1.5 is the basic dimension of this step, and then the other side of this will also have a basic dimension of 1.5, which will add up to 3 meters, and in between there is some space, as you must have observed. So that will come around to 0.1 or 0.2 meter. I can also change that to 3.1. So the landing would have a complete height, width of 3.1 meter. Now I will move it along this axis and snap it to this. Now we'll go into the right side view and do the same for this. Let me switch that off and then move it a bit more precisely like this. Yeah, this will work in our case. Yeah, this should work. Now let us name this in the scene. We will call this landing. This will become the support, and this cube will become the step. Now that we are done with this, what we will do is we will keep it at this now. Once we are done with all the materials and all the other steps, we will finally duplicate it on the other side, position it accordingly. Now what I can do is, over here I will use the Alt H option to bring the room in the scene back. I will select all of this and take it over here. I believe the size of the steps could be reduced a bit. So I will set the x dimension to 1, and similarly what I will do is I will press G and X. So this will automatically change on both sides because we have the mirror modifier in the scene. Now this I can again change the dimensions to, this time because it is 1 meter on one side, so 2 meter and then 2.1 meter roughly. Sorry if I'm being a bit too precise about the measurements. This is what architecture does to us in the long run. Yeah, this looks fine for now. Now what I'll do is that I will create the glass railing over here on one side. Before that, we can create the window over here. To create the window, we can again use the Archimesh add-on. I will go over here in the Archimesh add-on and then choose the panel window option. I will go to the front view using 1 on the numpad, and then I'll press N for the edit option. Over here in the create settings, you can see there are many settings for it. I will give it a horizontal count of 3, which is like the number of windows in horizontally, and vertically I will give it a count of 2. Now the basic dimension of the room was 6 meter. So over here for the horizontal, you can see also it's written first window width, which means we can use around the same amount of width for each of these panels horizontally. So I will give it like 180, 180 and 180. That would do for us. Similarly, what I'll do in the height is roughly around 6 meters again. So this time I will change it to 300 and then this to 500. Sorry, this to 200. Now I will shift it over here. Also, we will not use the window sill option, so I will uncheck that. Now I will place it somewhere over here. I can increase the height roughly to around 250 maybe, and that will look good over here in the scene. Now the outer frame. So what I will do is I will reduce that to 3, the riser to 3 and the inner frame to 1. So what that will do is it will give us a sleek looking window in the scene. As you can see, we have it placed correctly in the scene. I will place it inside the wall first and then show you. Now you can see we have the window inside the wall, but it is not showing up. To turn that on, please select the room option over here, and then in the room option you will have an option for auto holes. Just click that and you will get this function. The only drawback of this feature is that whenever you do a change to the window, you will have to turn on auto hole option again. I will save it for once. Now that the scene has started to block out, what I can do is, the other thing we could do is that we could duplicate it now for reference and then we'll duplicate again later. So I will press Shift D to duplicate and then press X to move it along the X-axis. Now I will go to the side view and then I'll press R and then I'll press Z to rotate it only along Z axis, and then I'll press 180. Now I'll move it using the G option. What I will do is, over here we haven't duplicated the support, so I will do that again. I will select all of this and then press Shift D and press X along to move it along the X axis. I will press R and then press Z to rotate it at 180 degrees, and then I'll press G to move it. Don't worry, we'll also place it in the right side. Yeah, now I'll give it the appropriate height over here. This should work for now. Now we have a basic basic staircase which is looking pretty fine over here. We will add the top landing or the top floor using another cube over here. I will go into the edit mode and then you switch on the snap option. And then I'll scale it along Z axis, or you can just give the dimension, which I will do in this case, and give it roughly around 1.15 meter. Now I'll move it even further, and let me just change the dimensions here. Yeah, this should look fine for now. Now that we have the basic floor set, the basic staircase set, what we will do is we will first create the glass railing over here on the sides. To do that, what I will do is I will add a plane in the scene, then rotate it along Y axis by pressing R, then pressing Y, and then I'll type 90. I will bring it over here. I will turn on the snap feature. I will snap it to this. Now over here what you can see is, although now we are in 3D and we have rotated it, but over here in the dimensions option what you can see is that the Z is still 0. That is because the rotation is not applied yet. To do that, what we will do is we will press Ctrl plus A and then apply rotation. Now these dimensions have been corrected. Now we will change it to Z to 0.9 over here in this case, or maybe 0.8 would also do. Now let me snap it again. Also please check that it is snapping to the right one. In this case it was snapping to the support behind. We'll snap it to this one for now. Yeah. Now what I will do is that railing will be usually slanted along this edge. So what I will do is that I will go to the edit mode, select only two vertices. We have it correctly placed. So this will give us the basic railing. Now again the problem over here is that you must check it in the top view that it is snapping to the right one. In this case we were working with this end of the support, so over here on the top also we will work with this end only, so that it is in a straight line. So now I will turn the snap option off, then I'll extrude it along the y-axis. I'll go into the top view and then extrude it along x-axis as well. Now you must have seen that by pressing 3 we can go to the right view. Now if we press Ctrl plus 3 we can go to the opposite view, which is the left view. This time I'll first turn the snap function on, and then along Y I will snap it to this. Let me first extrude it, sorry, and then I'll snap it to this. Yeah, now by pressing Ctrl 3 you can see. Now like we did for the railing on that side, we will do it similarly on this side. I will extrude it and then I'll snap it to this. Let me zoom in. Yeah. So this way we have the basic railing setup real quick. Now that we have the basic railing setup, what I will do is that I will give it some thickness using the solidify modifier. The solidify modifier gives us the liberty to change the thickness of any plane or surface that we have selected at any point in time until we apply it over here. So I will go to the top view and see how much thickness would work with our scene. It is currently set to 0.01. I will set it to 0.03 maybe. That looks a bit thick, so 0.02 would be good. Yeah. Now over here you can see the thickness is not even, it is tapering at the end. So for that you can check the even thickness option over here. Now save it once. Do not forget to save your projects at any point in time. Now that we have the basic glass railing setup, what I can do over here is that over here you can see that currently the glass railing is placed on top of the stairs. This is one way of placing railings. Let me go into the edit mode and then move it aside over here. Yeah. Similarly on the other side we can do. So this way the glass is fixed to the stairs using screws. Now we also have the railings set up. Now let me name this also. This will be named as glass railing. After this we will create the inner railing. To do that, what I will do is I can use a shorter method and a quicker one. First I will use shift plus D to duplicate. Now that we have duplicated it, press the escape option to keep it in place. Now press S and then press X, so it will scale it along X axis. Now I will move it along X axis. You must have gotten an idea already that we are going to use the railing, first railing, to create the inner railing also. That will reduce our time significantly. Now over here you can see that this dot over here, what does it depict? It depicts that this is the origin of the geometry. So anytime you are rotating or scaling an object, it will refer to that point. Now usually you can set it within the geometry. To do that, what you will do is you will click the right click on the when the object is selected and then set origin to geometry. This is always better when you are working with a lot of transformations. Now we'll go to the solid view and we will see that if we got it right or not. So we have, now over here you can see that the problem is that this is looking a bit off. That is because in the top view we shifted both of the edges. To change that, we will select all of them and then snap it to this. Yeah, this one over here, and then select these two and then move them. Yeah, now it is fine. Now similarly for this inner railing also, what I will do is that it is currently set on the inside. This is still a bit off, so I will again go into the edit mode and then do that. This is important because if you're rendering and then you can see the step as well along with the glass intersecting, it might not look that good. Yeah, now that we are done with that, we can name this as the inner glass railing. Inner glass railing. Now that we have done with the inner glass railing also, we will create the handrail over here. To do that, it is very easy. We will first we will add a cylinder to the scene, then rotate it along the x-axis and then scale it down by a lot. Yeah, scale it down even further. This should be fine. Now what I will do is first I will press G and then press Y until I have given it this much length. Then I will move it along the Z axis. And you can eyeball this thing to give it the appropriate slope. Yeah, this looks fine for that. Now let me position it in the top view. You can turn the snap function off. So the glass railing would be somewhere over here. Now over here I will extrude it again until this point, or maybe this. Now to give it the curvature over here, we will use the spin tool. There is a slight warning in Blender 2.9. What I have noticed is whenever I'm using spin tool, it might crash at the first time. So be cautious of it and save it already. So I will press Command S to save. So now spin tool uses the cursor as reference point. So I will select this cursor option and place it somewhere over here. And then I'll go to the spin tool and then, yeah, you see, this is what happens. Now I'll place the cursor over here again. Be cautious of it. This is what I was trying to explain. And then I'll use the spin tool and then I'll spin it along this axis. Yeah. And then I'll save it again just in case. So I will not extrude it completely and I will not spin it again. What I will do instead is that I will duplicate it and then reposition it so it will give the railing on the other side as well. We cannot mirror it because the slopes are different. One is going from ground floor to the mid landing and the other is going from the mid landing to the first floor. So for that I will first duplicate it over here, then use R along the rotate along the y axis and then press 180. So we have it already quite in place. Now I will go into the right view and place it along the z-axis as well. Just see that it is given the appropriate rotation, which can be again eyeballed. Nothing to worry much about. It most probably won't even be seen easily. And this is how I created the handrail in a very quick and efficient way. In today's video, we will keep it to this. In the next part of this video, we will discuss about the lighting, material, environment setup, and the final rendering. I hope you learned something new from this video today. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, hit the bell notification icon for latest updates, and guys, do not forget to share it with your friends and other SketchUp users who are wanting to learn Blender for a long time and were not able to do so. Thank you.